Bueno, mi gente, how you doing, guys? So today's video is going to be a continuation on the day in the life series type videos. Today we're going to be focusing on energy gathering. As most of you guys know, I depend on solar panels, and we'll get into how I use those. So as any of you guys that have watched my previous videos know, I depend 100% on solar energy. And my main workhorse for energy production is the Renogy Eclipse 100-watt solar briefcase. I'll leave a link up above so you can see the review I did on that. This thing is my workhorse. This feeds 100 amp hour deep cycle marine battery. Prior to that, it actually charged lithium ion pack that I had made, 100-watt one, and then I had made a sorry, not 100 watts, 100 amp hour one, and then I had made a replacement 200 amp hour one. Both of those I've given away. Sometimes you run into people that are in worse situations than you are, and you tend to make decisions based on those situations. That's who I am. It may not have been the best decision to make, but I got to be who I am, right? Anyway, so this actually feeds that battery, which runs my refrigerator. Without the refrigerator, there's no food. Without no food, there's no me. So that is critical. Now I also run a couple of lights off of there for when I'm sitting out at night underneath the stars or whatnot. So that's all that does. I don't ask it to do anything other than that, and that's really key for me. You guys also know that I keep a small flexible solar panel attached to the front windshield, and this is connected to a battery tender solar charger. So this keeps my battery, my Jeep battery, topped off. Pardon me. I have a PowerFilm 10-watt a foldable solar panel. This actually keeps a 7 amp hour battery. I have a couple of these. Actually, I have about 4 of these, and 3 of them are on loan right now to a rancher who's my neighbor. This solar panel is another. This I had a rough beginning with, but mainly because I was utilizing it incorrectly. But this thing is a workhorse. For 10 watts, it actually overperforms. It's supposed to put out half an amp, and it averages about 0.8 amps to a whole amp in real world usage. So this thing is really important to me, and it does nothing but maintain that 7 amp hour type batteries. Those batteries I use to run the fan, the exhaust fans, and the actual cooling fan inside of the tent. I'll use it I may plug in a cigarette lighter adapter and charge my cell phone off of it while I'm up in the tent. If one of my standard battery packs is not charged, I forgot to charge it for whatever reason. Now this guy right here is a 50 watt Renogy polycrystalline panel. Unlike the 100 watt briefcase, those are mono, and that's their new Eclipse line. This right here is a poly panel, and I gotta tell you, this 50 watt panel right here is a workhorse. This is a beast. This is the panel that I've owned for the longest. This is what started me on solar power, and it's never let me down. Rain or shine, this thing is out and producing energy. I absolutely love this thing. This is also the panel that I use when I'm testing equipment, when I'm trying out new different things. And there'll be times where it's really low light and I really got to make sure that my main battery is charged, and I'll parallel this with the solar briefcase. And I did have to make a modification to the solar briefcase again in the review video. I went over that, but I went ahead and added MC4 connectors in between, because these are connected in series. I'm sorry, in parallel. To make the 100 watts or 250 watt panels. So from that output, before it goes into the charge controller, I placed some MC4 connectors that I could use a branch connector to parallel this and have my 12 volts at 150 watts between the two of them, even on the rainiest day, I'm able to keep that main battery charged and producing energy to keep my refrigerator running. Now, with all of that energy, this is what I do. I have a series of different types of gizmos to keep my subsequent batteries charged. So the battery packs, like the Swalky that you see there, that has a built-in inverter, and I use that for other purposes as well. I have a 500 watt pure sine wave inverter. Now this is connected to a 60 amp hour battery, and this is it's that's running off of actually the 50 watt panel, and its purpose is to keep anything that may need AC power running. I don't have a lot of things that run off of AC, but I do have things that'll go dual. So just like this Tenergy TB6B, this is a charger balancer. So it balances, it charges, and it discharges. This thing is another workhorse for me. It comes with a whole series of connectors, so you can charge pretty much any type of battery pack that you have. It'll run off of DC, and I do use this off of DC primarily. Little battery clips off of a battery, whether it's the 7 amp hour battery or the 60 amp hour battery. This allows me to do it that way. The times where I can't, for whatever reason, I can go ahead and plug it on AC power, and I'll run it off of the inverter. The inverter also has this USB port, which is really convenient. This is not a fast charging port, so this puts out about 1.5 amps, 2 amps max at 5 volts. So it's a nice bonus to have on there. This is not a super expensive inverter, but it is a pure sine wave inverter. So nice clean energy coming out of this. I've never had any problems with this. I've been testing this now, been using this for about 4.5 months now, and you'll see a review coming up on this as well. Now, this Tenergy charger I also use with these leads, right? They have the open spade connectors, and I'll plug these in to charge my drill batteries. I don't have the Makita charger with me. I refuse to pay $100 and some odd for a replacement, so this has filled in for that. This has actually taken the place of a lot of standalone chargers for me. It's very few battery packs that I have that I'm not able to charge off of this. Now, on those days where I'm away, long distance from the vehicle, and I'm not able to, and I need to charge something off of AC, I need to use something AC. That's where the Swalky pack comes in. Because of the built-in inverter, I'm able to go ahead and use that. No, it doesn't have the capacity that the standalone inverter does plugged into that battery bank, because it's constantly generating energy, but it still allows me to do what I need to do. So this is just a quick overview of how I actually generate power, how I use that power. You'll see a review video coming up on that refrigerator. I've had that refrigerator for a year now, and that thing has been a beast. It's not no big name brand. It's actually a Costways 58 quart 12 volt 120 volt refrigerator. I've used it in both configurations, both 120 and obviously in 12 volt, which is what I use it most of the time. I've run it off of the Jeep battery. I've run it off of mains. And I've run it off the generator. I have a Generac generator. It's an inverter generator. You'll be seeing a review video coming off of that. I've had that one for about 6-7 months now. That's another beast. That's a definite thing to have. So this is basically how I use my power, how I generate my power. As a matter of fact, this is my Generac generator. This is a 1700 peak watt inverter. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it. That's basically what I do for power. That's how I generate the electricity with the panels. That's how I actually use that electricity from those panels and the generator as a backup for those times where it's just been too long with not full sun. That's really not been a problem here in Arizona. I think in the whole time that I've been out here in the desert, I may have used that, I may have run the generator twice. I had to buy some stable for the fuel, because again, I didn't want it to gum up the works. I try to, you know, I try to be as gentle on the generator as I can, because I know that it needs to be there for me when I need it. It has been. So you take care of your equipment will take care of you. But that's going to do it for today's video. I wanted to make this a short one. I know some of the other ones have gone on a bit long, and I'm trying to condense that time for you guys. So, like always, I ask you, if you've gotten any value out of this video, to please return that value. There's links in the description on how to go ahead and do so. PayPal, Patreon, and Bitcoin for those of you that like that electronic currency or want to remain anonymous. I'm cool with that. You know, if you guys have any products that you'd like for me to test, if you have anything that you'd like for me to have because you have it and you're not using it, you think it'd be beneficial for me, then feel free. My email link is down in the description, urbandisruptivetech@gmail.com. I'll provide you with an address. It's going to be general delivery. I don't have a physical address on site here. Until I have a building constructed, they're not going to give me a street address, so it is what it is. And even when I do get the street address, my mailbox will be 12 miles from where I'm physically standing at. So it is what it is, guys. Anyway, comment down below if you have any questions, or just let me know what you think of the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Get up on that third rope and do that snooker fly, the Jimmy Superfly snooker dive onto that notification bell, so you know when new videos come out. As always, guys, you have yourself a good day. Suave, mi gente. See you on the next one.